sound. And this is one that a lot of people are taken aback by. Dogs have very sensitive um, ears. They can hear a whole bunch of stuff that we can't.
Yeah.
And we tend to think that if we find something soothing and relaxing, they're going to find it soothing and relaxing too. So when I ask people what they play for the dogs in their care or the dogs that are in their lives, if they play anything at all, it's usually classical music. That's like the standard go-to. And it's actually one of the worst things you can play for a dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
So there
yeah,
are
you hear that all the time. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
So
I'll
the
play like
reasoning
the
behind,
frequency music,
yeah,
like, so tell me, yeah, tell me.
yeah. So there are some companies that have remastered classical music to be appropriate for dogs' ears. Through a Dog's Ear or ICOM, they're the same company, is the one that comes to mind. But basically, the problem with classical music is that there's so many dynamics to it. It
Mm.
gets really, really loud, very, very quiet. And there's long pauses sometimes between different movements of pieces. And every time that dynamic changes or there's a break in the music is an opportunity for a dog to hear something that will stress it out. A lot of times this is pretty much any noise that they can't see the source of.
Mm.
So unless, you know, you're not listening to the first thing I said and you're letting dogs see everything, there's going to be a sound that they hear that they can't see where it's coming from.
Mm.
And in order to reduce the impact of that on their anxiety, I recommend, and the science is behind this too, is actually playing brown noise for dogs. It's very similar to white noise. It's just a different set of frequencies. And multiple studies have found that when you play brown noise for dogs, it actually masks any sound from the outside. They don't hear what else is going on in the world. They just hear that one baseline
Okay.
noise. And it also doesn't have those dynamics. It's not,
Uh,
it's just a consistent noise.
okay.
However, people don't always like to listen to synthetic noise in their workplace. So I do like to give people other alternatives. Um, the next best few are also things that raise a lot of eyebrows. One is
Wait,
reggae music.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I want to hear those, but before you go there, before we leave the brown noise, give me an example of where somebody can get brown noise. Is that the place that you mentioned before that? What was it called again?
Well,
Icon or something?
icon is where if you want classical music, that's the place you want to go
Oh,
to.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where
Um,
do you get brown music? How do you get that?
yeah, so you can get brown noise pretty much anywhere. I listen to it on Spotify,
Oh,
but there's also plenty of videos on YouTube with brown noise.
I
So
see.
those
Okay.
are whatever your preferred platform of choice, I can almost
Okay.
guarantee there's brown noise there. So
Okay. Okay. I mean, I might just be 20 years behind here because I had no idea. Okay, so let me go on and hear the alternatives if in case somebody doesn't want to hear the brown noise.
yeah, so reggae is another really good one for dogs. Again, not a lot of those dynamic changes. It's very consistent. The beat just kind of keeps going. And it's one of those things that's great to play when you have staff or if you're going to be around the dogs too, because who can be up like stressed out or sad when listening to reggae?
My
Like,
mom.
I don't know a single person. So that's another great option too.
Nice. I
If
like,
you are more into the club scene, then listening to like any electronic music, techno music is really
oh,
good too.
okay.
Again, very little going on in the dynamics because when you've got a bunch of people in a club, you want them amped
Yeah.
up and excited the whole
Yeah.
time. You don't want these lulls, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I see it. Yeah.
And then one that completely baffles me, but is a godsend for some of my clients, is actually death metal.
Oh,
Yeah.
ow.
Yeah. Some people love death metal and Dogs don't mind it.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah,
I've always wondered that when I'm driving in the car with my dogs and a good song comes on, you turn it up real loud, and then I think, oh, am I hurting their ears? You know? Like, but now I know if it's reggae, electronic, or death metal, it's actually helping them to lower their anxiety and
exactly.
self-de-stress.